In this bonus, I have put together a few texts that I believe are inspiring and that I'm hoping will be inspiring you as well on your journey to create more love and connection with your partner. I selected this text particularly because they come from people from all over the world, and they also transcend time. Some of these texts were written centuries ago and others are contemporary. Some of them are religious in nature, but they transcend religion and talk to the heart of human beings. And other topics also include shining and being our authentic selves, showing up in the world and being unapologetic. Another one is more about beauty and transcending beauty and finding beauty and focusing on what is already beautiful and whole in everything in life. So the first text that I'm sharing with you is called On Love. It's from the Corinthians and you find it in the New Testament, so very old text, and it talks to the spirit of love, what we have discussed throughout the course. And that's a text that I actually selected, that my husband and I chose for our wedding about 10 years ago, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Another beautiful text is called On Marriage. It's about commitment and love coming together, and it's written by Khalil Gibran, who was a Lebanese American writer and poet from about 100 years ago. And this is one of his poems from a beautiful book called The Prophet, and I would highly recommend you read that book. It's magnificent. One text from Rumi is called I Love Myself. That was written in 13th century Persia. I find it pretty interesting that this concept was already present back then. Another one is called A Moment of Happiness, and the third one is called A Great Wagon. It's really beautiful. I hope you'll enjoy it too. Then I bring it back to contemporary life with a text from Marianne Williamson, who is an American writer and spiritual teacher and also an activist. And she wrote this pretty famous book in the 80s called A Course in Miracles. And this text comes from the book and it's called Our Deepest Fear. It's one of my favorite texts ever. Then I added 4 lines from a longer poem from William Blake, who was an 18th century poet from England. And the last text that I share with you is a poem by Maya Angelou, who was an American poet, singer, and also civil rights activist. And it's called Still I Rise. And this one calls to me because I think she's talking pretty heavily about not being afraid of shining and also bringing out our feminine powerful sides. And that's for all the ladies out there or women or men who have an interest in developing a little bit more of their feminine energy. And I hope you'll enjoy all of these texts. You can download the written version of these texts by clicking on the link below this video. And I have also put the audio format of the text so that you can listen to these poems and inspiring quotes whenever you have a little bit of time. You can be driving around, you can be doing the dishes and listening to them, you can be listening to some of these texts before you go to bed. They're very short, they're uplifting, they're inspiring, and I hope they'll support you on your journey with your partner.